Hello everyone, this is Santiago Zapata. I am the lead developer of NovaMundi, and today I want to share with you a little bit of what is NovaMundi, why we made it, and a little bit of how it plays. So let's go ahead and start a new game. So NovaMundi is a strategy game, a historical strategy game. It's based on the historical events of the invasion of the highlands of the Andes made by the Spanish in the 15th century towards what is currently the city of Bogota in Colombia. Um, so in NovaMundi, you represent a group of Muisca people that they were on a mission to trade with the Taironas, which is another culture of now of present day Colombia. So they were in this mission to trade, and in their way there, down from the highlands towards the coast, they met this Spanish invasion force that was making their way towards the center of the country, and they decided to go back home, and warn their people about it and come up with a way to face this menace. So every time you play, the entire map is regenerated, right? So it's a different adventure every time. It's meant to be played in runs instead of a very long session. You play shorter sessions, 2 or 3 hours, in which you try to to complete your mission of joining or uniting the Muisca people. So the first thing we gotta do is travel to Ramiriki. So we are getting near our hometown, which is Ramiriki, and the game is represented from this overhead perspective because we really want to highlight the nature of this terrain and also the exploration aspect, right? That's very important for our game, for because one of the main things you gotta do is travel from town to town and find the different towns of the highlands, right? So when you go to each town, inside each town, you can talk with the people that lives there, with some of the people that lives there, and they are going to teach you or share with you a little bit about their culture, their day-to-day jobs, their beliefs. So this is a result of the research that we are constantly doing um, with the help of people from the academy, researchers, and of course descendants from the original Muisca people. Um, so that's an important part of the game. And then you have also other people that is like the main characters of the game, which advance the plot. And for example, this is the cacique or the leader of Ramiriki. His name is Supanake, and he tells us we gotta visit the Iraka, the high priest and the ruler of Suamox, and he's going to give us like the main mission. So another aspect of the game is the entire management, the expedition management. So he gave us some resources which we can use to hire people to complete our expedition and also supplies for our journey, right? So we're going to hire some people here and then travel north to Swamox. So each one of these units has a different use inside the game, both in the exploration phase and in the combat phase. For example, the explorer is very valuable because if you don't have explorers, then the minimap and the compass don't work, and it's very hard to lose your way. And then there's other units that have different roles inside the combat phase, like the guardians who can like defend the other units, or the archers which attack from afar. Again, we are designing all these units with all the data and with all the information that we have been able to research. We're going to get some supplies and then travel north to Swamox. So when you're exploring, it's very important to have a look at the map. This is like as we explore, it starts getting filled with all the places that we visit. The first place we need to visit, Swamox, is already marked here, so we need to travel there. The landscape is based on the real landscape of this region. So we're going to see forests, lakes, wetlands, and also paramos, which is like Andes tundra, alpine tundra, with different vegetation and in the future different fauna as well, right? Different animals that you can find. When we are exploring the forest, it's possible to get lost, so we need to uh, be very careful of when we decide to go into the forest. As you can see, we lost track here, so we can no longer use the map to orient ourselves, and that may be dangerous when we are running low on supplies. Alright, so let's continue our journey north to Swamox. Here's a wetland, for instance. We're going to pass through it. Alright, so we are going to pass through the wetlands. However, it's getting late and we are getting tired, so we're going to camp before, and then next day we're going to resume our journey through the wetlands and into Swamox. Okay, so we continue through the wetlands going north. Day 2. So as days pass, things start becoming more dangerous with more dangerous enemies can appear. So that's something that we gotta keep in mind when we are moving from town to town. We need to do it quickly because we need to complete the mission as quick as possible. So there's some cliffs here, and up there you can see a paramo with the frailejones, which are like the more vegetation that is more associated with that. So we're going to climb a little bit here. Okay, so we are now up here in the paramo, and since this is a high mountain, we can also use it to get to see what's further, right? So there's like a huge lake here, that's to the north, so that's kind of where we need to go, but we need to go northeast here, so we will not have to cross that lake, so we can resume our journey and travel through here towards Swamox, which is our first destination. As we travel, well, the members of our expedition will also start sharing some commentary or some of their ideas of what's going on. That's also something that can teach us about the culture of the Muisca. Alright, so we are going to enter Swamox now. And in here, we're going to talk with the Iraka Nompanim, and he's going to give us the mission of uniting all the Muisca towns against this enemy. So we need to go to all the towns, and this is where the entire exploration aspect kicks in, because we need to ask for directions to get to these towns, and we need to survive the difficult wilderness and the dangers that we're going to find there. So again, and every time we find different people that tells us different aspects of the Muisca culture, and also people that will let us know about the surroundings, and we can use that information to complete our mission of finding the different towns and asking them to unite this alliance. Each town is also serves as a way to resupply our expedition and even trading directly for the gold value of the things that we have, but we can also barter. So we're going to resume our journey and see like what towns we need to visit. So the first one we need to visit is Hunza. Well, we can actually visit them on any order. So as I mentioned, here is where you gotta decide. So do we want to risk crossing this forest, or do we want to try to find another way, which may take us more time? In here it seems we'll need to go through, so we are working that direction, but before that we got some enemies. So in here we can see, as I mentioned, as days pass, the enemies get stronger, and here we are seeing the first Spanish invasion force enemies. So this is an arquebusier, and this is a hunter, and they are mixed in with warriors from enemy factions. In this case, they are Panchi Raiders and Fuhuta, which is this is also an archer. All right, so in here, for example, we can decide we can start the combat with the default tactics, and then send these guys to flank and attack the arquebusier. And leave the explorer here because we don't want him to take damage. And let's resume our here. We need to deal with him because he does a lot of damage, so we want to prevent him from doing that. We can also ask these 3 archers to attack this single archer here, and for them to attack this other archer. And if we do a good job at planning our strategy, then our units will not be damaged a lot. So while you're exploring, you can also find places like this, which are like caverns that you can explore, and they are dangerous. So you go along with your lone explorer, and then there's some stuff that you can find here, but also you may find dangers like dangerous animals, stuff like that. So in here we are finding, okay, so we found something. We found a blessing, a snake blessing. So let's take it. This is going to be very useful to improve some of the stats. In this case, it improves the attack speed, so you can attack much more quickly when you are in combat. Let's go in and see what city it is. And we found Hunza, which was our first destination. So we're going to go to the market, and again, if we want to learn more about the Muisca culture, we can talk with these people, and they tells us about the different aspects of the culture. But our first mission is talking in the temples to the Chikui, to the priests or the wise people that they have, and ask them to unite the alliance. So we are still working on the game. We are going to add more different missions that you will need to complete in order for them to join the alliance. For now, they just joined. But yeah, so you already have a mission. You need to find, in this case, four more towns and ask them to join. And as I mentioned, as days pass, we are on day 3. It's going to get harder. So you gotta keep your units healthy. You gotta keep your supplies steady and keep growing stronger so that you can face these harder enemies. Yeah, so I think that's what the game's about. We continue developing it. We continue adding a lot of content from our advisors and the researchers on the Muisca, and also developing more content for the missions and the different things that you can do and the landscapes that you find. So I hope you like what you see of the game so far. It's available on early access, so you can get it, and if you want to contribute with the development of the game. And thank you for watching.